What is up, Z Fighters? It's Manga Adventures, and today we'll finish the story, at least for now, of what if Caulifla was in Universe 7. So let's jump right into it. Now, I know this may upset many people, but I do not think much would change in the Future Trunks arc. One, the time machine could only fit so many people, and someone needed to stay back just in case Black returned. Two, so the two people that would make sense will be Goku and Vegeta. Goku was essential for many reasons because that was his doppelganger, and since he fought Black, only he knew what the ki felt like up close. He also learned the Mafuba from his old master, which is a reasonable callback. Vegeta, on the other hand, wanted to help his son, which is an excellent drive to be stronger, but I feel adding Caulifla in this arc would be shoehorning her in. She doesn't have the same relationship with Whis and Beerus, so she wouldn't be the one looking for Black's ki, so there will be no Caulifla Black. At the end of the day, Goku and Vegeta would want to go more than Caulifla, not to say she didn't want to fight Black because she loves facing new and strong opponents, but she understands it meant more to those two. But her lack of involvement would carry over to the next arc. You see, Caulifla realized way back in the Universe 6 tournament that Goku had surpassed her when he used Blue Kaioken times 10. She of course wanted to fight this technique herself, but didn't get a chance because of Goku's condition afterwards. Though who she did fight was Vegeta, and the two were evenly matched thanks to Goku and Vegeta constantly training throughout Super to catch up with Caulifla, while Caulifla only trained on her own and looked after Pan. She wants to continue sparring with Vegeta, but then the events of Goku Black happened and she was unfortunately put on the sidelines like I explained. But when the adventure is over and Vegeta had returned for their rematch, Vegeta wins, having surpassed Caulifla for the first time. This is because the Goku Black in this what if was much stronger than in canon due to having Caulifla in this universe, meaning Vegeta had a new power in mind when he went in the time chamber. The result is Caulifla being angry that she let herself get complacent, and it especially stings knowing Goku must be even stronger than this with his Kaioken, so she's more than a little behind. She thinks it's time to train with Whis when another thought randomly pops in her head. The tournament Zeno promised her and Goku. Finding opponents throughout multiple universes and maybe even learning their techniques could be what she needs. She always liked the thrill of battle more than training anyway. Caulifla tells Goku her idea and he was thinking the same thing, so they both head to Zeno's palace since only Goku has the button. When they arrive and remind the two of the tournament, they think it's a great idea, but future Zeno has no idea what the tournament would be like, so they want to hold an exposition match. When sent to Earth to prepare, Goku and Caulifla try getting Vegeta, but he refuses because Bola is about to be born, so they ask Gohan instead, telling him the entire truth of the universe being at risk. He agrees, and the three fight Universe 9's Trio de Danger. However, the fight is more of a curve stomp than anything else. The only person who completely loses is Gohan. Unlike canon, the latter didn't feel the need to train since he never got beat by Frieza because Caulifla cleaned him up fairly quickly. Now, since Goku was the last one to fight, Toppo still challenges him, and they don't get to finish because of the Grand Priest being afraid that they'll kill each other. But before Toppo leaves, he tells Goku of Jiren and that he's even stronger than himself. This excites both him and Caulifla, and the gathering of participants begins, with each universe only given 40 hours. We already know how Universe 7 recruits their members, but one thing does change, and that's the fact Gohan comes to Caulifla for training. He knows the whole universe is at risk and wants to protect his family. He asks Caulifla because she's the only other warrior with their potential unlocked. The female Saiyan agrees, but since they don't have much time, she leaves the other Z Fighters recruitment to Goku and takes Gohan to the time chamber. This is the first time the two have been in together, and Caulifla makes it clear when she's training, she doesn't hold back. So he better give it his all, not just for himself, but for Videl and Pan as well. They go at it intensely for a year, Gohan reawakening his ultimate form he had once lost, and even manages to match Caulifla's strength in that short amount of time, amazing the woman who took 6 years to get to this point. They leave after a day because rest is just as essential as training, and Caulifla tells Gohan to spend this remaining time with his family. But before he flies off, she tells him, even before they went in the time chamber, she was proud of the person he became. Anybody who takes care of their people has earned her eternal respect. Speaking of, Caulifla heads to her crew and has a few drinks with just the 5 of them. As the night goes on, she asks the question, do you guys regret staying on Earth for this long? Something she occasionally asks every now and then, but the answer remains the same. They say no because it's obvious not only is she happy, but they enjoy this peaceful life, something they weren't quite used to, having all come from rough backgrounds. This relieves Caulifla, who has new motivation to fight in the tournament, guaranteeing her crew that the Earth will be fine and she will be back. One last note, because Caulifla is here, there's no need to recruit Frieza because they have plenty of people. Now that we're all caught up with Universe 7, we need to focus on Universe 6 since they don't have Caulifla in this What If, and things would go much differently. Kaba is asked per usual to gather strong fighters for Champa's tournament, and the first person he has in mind is his mentor Renzo, who's not injured thanks to being saved by a young girl named Kale. In this continuity, similar to Caulifla, Renzo saw the huge potential within Kale and recruited her to be a part of his elite team within the Salad army, alongside Kaba, who she's jealous of because he was always called Renzo's best student. Another considerable change will be that this version of Kale would have much more battle experience being part of the army than when she worked with Caulifla, who wanted to do most if not all the fighting herself. I think Renzo would send her out on her own from time to time, meaning her skills became so impressive, she is considered an ace in the defense force similar to Kaba, and the only reason she wasn't picked for the Universe 6 tournament is because she was on an important mission with Renzo, and it's even said either her or Kaba could be the next captain of the elite force after Renzo retires. So the personality of this Kale will be less timid and more battle hardened. After the two agree to join the tournament, Kaba tries teaching them Super Saiyan. Renzo struggles to pick it up, but Kale gets the hang of it almost immediately, angry that Kaba has learned a new technique that put him a step above her and more in the captain's favor. But she goes berserk because her power is so immense. Physically, neither Kaba or Renzo can stop her, but Renzo is able to snap her out of it, telling her he knows he didn't train someone who would succumb to power so quickly. Hearing this, she returns to normal and promises to never let this happen again. Now with recruitment out the way, let the tournament begin. With the addition of Caulifla, she would work together with Goku and Vegeta to quickly take care of Universe 9. Immediately after, the three would split up to find their own foes to face. Goku goes to Universe 11 looking for Toppo, taking out some of their fighters with Hit's help. Though Hit is eventually taken out by Jiren, Caulifla would try fighting members of Universe 6, wanting a rematch since she was cheated in her last tournament against them. Although she was unable to save Krillin, she was able to get her revenge on Frost, and then proceeds to take out other participants of the tournament, excluding the Saiyans. Next, I believe Gohan at this point, thanks to training with Caulifla, would be strong enough to take on both the Namekians by himself. After Gohan, it's Vegeta who would be fighting alongside 18 to take out members of Universe 2. A variety of fighters assist in taking out Universe 4, however it's Piccolo and 17 who see through their tricks and eliminate them. But all these eliminations didn't happen without Universe 7's own casualties. Tien, Master Roshi, and Piccolo had been knocked out by this point. Now, while all this is happening, Kale, unlike in canon who was being played with by Universe 10's fighters, is more than enough to take on at least 3 or 4 by herself. Renzo would come in to help, taking out a few on his own, and Kaba would finish off the universe. Now, while Kale didn't mind Renzo helping, she was more than upset seeing that Kaba came along. She tells him she doesn't need his help and to stay out of her way from now on. Kaba pleads with her, saying they need to work together to win, but Kale has already ran off to find her next opponent, which doesn't take long because she comes across Caulifla, who had just finished eliminating her teammates. Kale declares Caulifla a threat to her universe's survival, but Caulifla is excited to fight a female Saiyan. Now, base versus ultimate, we already know who's outmatched. Caulifla then tells her if she's in this tournament, she must be able to turn Super Saiyan, so hurry up. But she admits she can't just yet. Caulifla is disappointed, saying she would much rather be fighting someone else. Maybe that Kaba boy is free. He picked up Super Saiyan pretty fast. He might even be a Super Saiyan 2 by now. This causes Kale to become upset as she charges forward, announcing she's her opponent, but Caulifla swats her away, calling her weak. Though this was the last straw for Kale to go berserk. Caulifla has never seen this kind of Super Saiyan before, and her blood is boiling. She calls Kale's amazing for having a transformation that boosts her power like this, but that still won't be enough to take her down. Kaba and Renzo see Kale struggling to fight Caulifla and go to try to help, but they didn't expect the Berserk Saiyan to turn her sights on them, more specifically Kaba. Renzo tries stopping her, but gets himself knocked out in the process. Kaba only survived by turning Super Saiyan 2, not wanting to lose his universe like this. He manages to get through to her, saying Renzo wouldn't want them fighting. He knows she's jealous of him because he's always been called the best student, but he never saw it that way, always seeing Kale as the better of the two. She's the reason he trains so hard, because he wants to catch up to her natural talent and hopes one day to work by her side when she becomes the next captain of the elite Solid Force. Hearing this, Kale transforms into her controlled Super Saiyan state and apologizes for being petty all these years. And it's about time they work together. Though even with their differences set aside, they aren't nearly enough to beat Caulifla. That is, until they put on the Patara earrings given to them by Champa to become the ultimate fusion. Now, if you think Caulifla will back down against her first fused opponent, you don't know the character too well. She charges forward with excitement, but the fusion is too much even with her ultimate form. Though by sheer chance, she bumps into Goku, who had just unlocked Omen, but lost it right after, and is now facing Universe 2's remaining fighters to get a second win. Caulifla suggests if he wants to get that power back, he needs a strong opponent like this fusion. Goku agrees and suggests they switch partners, saying these last three love guys are no joke either. Nodding at each other, the two attack in the opposite directions of where they were facing, and as predicted, Goku could turn Omen once again thanks to the fusion. But Caulifla is pushed down due to the gravity-like move of Universe 2. At the exact same time Goku uses his sliding Kamehameha, Caulifla pushes herself, saying there's something more important to love than her, and that's earning respect, and launches a blast that gets through the technique she was trapped in. This means both Universe 6 and 2 have been eliminated at the same time. This took a lot of the two Saiyans, but they can't let up just yet. Universe 3's Anilaza is coming for them, but luckily they aren't alone. With the help of Gohan and 17, they combine their energies for one giant ki blast to eliminate the machine and their universe, leaving only 7 and 11 left. But 18 was knocked out during the last conflict, leaving it a 5v3. They split up to handle the situation. Vegeta eliminates Toppo by breaking past his limits to Blue Evolution. Gohan sacrifices himself so Caulifla can knock out the speedy Dispo, leaving only Jiren. But that isn't as good as I make it sound. Jiren can fight all the remaining members of Universe 7. He even knocks out Vegeta, who gives the last of his energy to Goku before getting benched. This, along with a powerful blast from Jiren, is what Goku needed to master Ultra Instinct, giving Jiren a run for his money for a little while, though the transformation runs out and damages his body, meaning Caulifla and 17 have to fight a weakened Jiren alone. But Goku isn't one to stay down and gets right back up to assist Caulifla in pushing Jiren out the arena, meaning 17 is the winner of the Tournament of Power. And the wish he makes is to restore all the eliminated universes, returning everything to normal and returning everyone to their happy lives and families. Now, because Frieza was never revived, you would think Broly would be stuck on Vampa. However, I believe the Frieza Force would still need to recruit powerful warriors, so Broly would still be found. But instead of going to Earth, they would send Brody and Pericus to reclaim the planets they lost because they're more focused on building back up their army than focusing on a few saiyans. Meaning they're still relevant, we'll just have to wait until a later arc to see the two in action. But this may be sooner than you think. Though for now, this ends part 6 of What If Caulifla was in Universe 7. To me, this was reasonably easy to write and was also incredibly popular, so I thought it'd be the perfect video to test a new time I've been thinking of uploading my videos. But just in case this doesn't work, please subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Other than that, I thought it was kind of funny as I was trying to give a fusion name to Kaba and Kale, and no matter what I did, their names would still be either Kaba or Kale, no matter how you mix it. Hence why I just called them the Ultimate Fusion Warrior to make things less confusing. But if you have a name in mind, comment below. I love to hear them. And speaking of comments, tell me what you thought of a Kale without Caulifla. Does it work or no? Hope to hear what you guys say, and I especially hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a good one.